Hello again, my friends. Welcome back. So, continuing our conversation on overcoming food addiction and getting to the point where you can put your plan into action to realize and successfully obtain your goals. Um, I want you to watch this video, and at the end, I want you to feel confident in your ability to follow through with your plans. Okay, we talked in our first video about the importance of commitment, right? And that's where it all starts. The problem is that no matter how strong our commitment, right? Your commitment can be strong, your whys can be strong. There still lives inside of you a heinous power to sabotage your commitments. Okay, and this part of us is something that we can't dissect and throw away. Unfortunately, it will be with you forever, right? I like to call it our inner child, the one that cries and cries until it gets what it wants. In psychology, they call it the id, the impulsive drive for unhealthy behaviors. So whatever you want to call it, the Bible calls it the flesh, the part of us that wants what it wants. On our last video, we called it the motivational triad. It's a part of you that seeks pleasure, avoids pain, and wants to conserve energy. And there's one thing that we must understand, that it wants what it wants at all costs. It does not matter how much that cost is to your health. Okay, it could be chocolate laced poison, and that inner child will want you to eat it anyway. You have to understand this. Okay, that craving or that splurge, that binge, that desire for whatever your favorite fruit is, it really comes from a base instinct inside of you that is very hard to control. And you have to understand that instinct, that drive, is not for your best interest. It wants what it wants, regardless of the result or the cost to your health. So there's many ways to overcome and gain control over this base instinct. As I like to say, to strengthen the spirit to overcome, as the Bible says, the flesh, right? One of these ways is to have a strong and very detailed food plan. For example, in this template that we're going to go through. All right, so this is the food plan template. There's 4 categories that you can use in this food plan template, but 2 are the most important. The never category and the conditional category. To me, that's the most helpful. And by the way, this is a great resource from the book Never Binge Again from Dr. Livingston. I think it's a powerful resource and a book everyone needs to read. So the 4 categories are nevers, always, unrestricted, and conditionals. Nevers being foods, drinks, behaviors that you'll never indulge in again. Always being things that you will always do. Unrestricted, things that or behaviors or food, drinks that you will allow yourself to have without any limits. Very close to always. So they're kind of pretty much the same. And then the conditionals, what foods, drinks, and behaviors that you'll permit yourself to do only on certain occasions and times. Okay, so we're going to go into the details of these 4 categories, but just know there's 3 things that are very important. Okay, why this food plan can be very powerful. Number 1, having a food plan teaches your inner child that you are in control. Because believe it or not, your inner child will try to trick you. Surprise, surprise. It will try to trick you until 3 Snickers bars later, you have no idea. You finally realize that you're far from the good intentions that you started with, right? You need to have a plan to put that child in its place. Okay. Number 2, it also reminds you that your plan should be a challenge, but at the same time, it must be doable. It must be something that you could realistically obtain. It gives you room for growth while pushing you to get ahead. You can, of course, amend your plan. And that's a third thing that's important in having a plan. Because over time, you might find that you want to change some categories or add some things. Okay. But I want you to treat this like the Constitution of the United States of America. This is that important. Okay. Your health, yes, is that important. And just like in the Constitution is a standing document, right? It allows for amendments, but there's checks and balances when it comes to amending the Constitution, right? So there should be checks and balances when it comes to amending your food plan. It shouldn't be amended just because you broke it, okay? You broke it, recommit, get back into it, okay? But look through this and fit into this plan things that are challenging yet doable. For example, for me, it was for a long time was a challenge to stop eating chicken. That was my biggest thing. So I went from maybe conditional, allowing myself to eat chicken only on weekends to eventually being able to just bring it down to conditional only on Thursdays, my free day, my cheat day. Now I don't eat chicken at all. It's not even a temptation, so I can now put chicken as a never. So, you can actually graduate and amend your constitution, but make sure that you are changing it in your favor. Remember, the goal is a whole food, plant-based vegan diet. If you want to get control of your diabetes and also lose weight, feel great, get that mental clarity in 6 weeks or less. Your success depends on, of course, how effectively you plan. A copy of this template will be attached to this email.